everybody, welcome back. It's Rachel again. If you are new here, all I talk about is gardening, and I try to help people learn how to grow their own garden. And today we are going to talk about seed starting indoors. Now you might be wondering, what is the point of starting seeds indoors? Can't I just plant them outside? So hopefully you're starting to see that gardening might not be as expensive as you thought it was. The neighbor's kid is yelling about something. So now you're looking at your garden map and you're wondering, well, which of these plants do I start indoors under a light, and which ones do I direct sow outdoors when it's warm? But the list of plants to start growing indoors versus outdoors is going to be different depending on where you're gardening, and it's going to be too hard to memorize anyways. So what I like to use is this awesome tool called Urban Farmer. It's a website where you can look up a calendar, kind of like a schedule, that shows you exactly when to start certain plants indoors and outdoors depending on your zone. Seed packets will also have information on them about when to start plants indoors or outdoors. Don't feel totally limited by the instructions on a seed packet though. Against recommendations from the packet, I started zinnias indoors and transferred them outside when it was hot, and they lived just fine, and now I have zinnias blooming in June. It all just depends. You'll notice that seed packets have words on them like hybrid or heirloom. Don't get confused, these words just relate to the plant's genetics. If you're dead set on finding a very specific type of tomato, you might need to pay attention to these labels, but I don't. Just play around, and if you're not looking for something very specific, pick something that looks good. Seed packets might also mention the word pole or bush. Pole means that the plant is going to need something to climb up on, whereas bush means it will just mound. Bush varieties of things may still need support when the fruit starts setting, but it won't need anything very tall. The rest of the packet should be pretty easy to read, and some will even have pictures. If you have any questions, let me know. Now I'm going to talk about the supplies you need for seed starting indoors. Obviously, you need to go buy the seeds you want. Buy the seeds you'll start both indoors and outdoors at the same time. You will need a grow light that has as much coverage as possible. Try to get a light with multiple arms that can be twisted and directed. This is necessary because as the plants grow, you have to be able to adjust the height. You will need a fan. There are a few reasons that you need a fan for your seedlings, but mainly it's to get the seedlings used to feeling air movement that they will feel when they're planted outside. You'll also need compostable pots. These come in a variety of different materials. They can be cow manure, peat moss, or even coconut husks. These pots are important because if you were to plant your seedling in a regular plastic cup or some sort of jar, when it's ready to be planted outside, you'll have to pull the plant
out of its cup, which is traumatic for the very small seedling, and they might not survive the process. These pots are great because they can be directly sown into the ground, so the plant will experience a comfortable transition from in your home to outside in the dirt. You will also need a bag of this stuff. Why lie? I can't pronounce it. This stuff keeps your plants moist 24/7. Trust me, I've tried growing things without it, and the potting soil will dry out way too quickly if you don't have this stuff. You will also want some wire racks so that the roots of your plants can get proper air circulation. The next item you need is very important: potting mix. Potting mix is not soil, it is not dirt. Some might be labeled potting soils, however, but just remember, they're not soil, they're not dirt. They're very, very different than the dirt that you would just find outside. The reason why potting mix is so important to growing young seedlings is because any kind of regular dirt that you might find outside or in a bag at the store is going to contain bacteria, which are dangerous for young seedlings. Maybe you've shied away from buying potting mix in the past because of its price. One bag is probably about $7 or $8. But you only need one bag of this, and you only use it for seed starting. Do not fill your garden bed or box with potting mix. It would be a total waste of money. We will fill our garden beds and boxes up with much cheaper materials later. Now that you're done shopping, let's get planting. In a medium-sized bowl, mix 1/2 and 1/2 potting soil together. Fill each cell just about to the brim with your mixture. Do not pat down or squish your mixture. Also, don't squish your seeds. Plants need to be able to breathe air and have access to light above the dirt. That's why we do not want to smush down our mixture or the seeds. Put 2 seeds in each cell, spaced out a little bit from each other. Seeds and baby plants need to always be moist. Do not let them get bone dry. You also do not want to totally soak your seedlings. I spray my seedlings around 3 times a day. Your grow lights should be on around 15 hours a day. Your seedlings do need a dark nighttime. I always notice a lot of growth in the morning after my plants have had time to rest. If you're like me and you want a ton of plants to fill your large garden, you can keep your grow lights on 24/7 and just switch the plants out from under them to a dark spot so they can have their rest and the other half of your seedlings can get their light. If you position your grow lights far above your plants will grow very skinny and spindly. That's why it's important to position your lighting about 3 inches above plants at all times. Position your fan a few feet away from your growing area. Finally, you've learned so much. And now it will soon be time to see tiny seedlings emerge from their mixture.